Proud to serve northeastern and central Pennsylvania. This is WNEP TV 16, the news station. Now, Nolan Johannes, Karen Harch, Jack Ruland in Skycam 16, meteorologist Tom Clark with his backyard forecast, and Tim Carlson Sports. This is Newswatch 16.
Scranton Mayor David Wenzel took to the air today to literally look for a long-term solution to the city's garbage problems. As we told you last night, the Keystone landfill in Dunmore will stay open for at least a week, even though the state says it's full and should be shut down.
The mayor took Skycam 16 today to see what's out there landfill-wise. Newswatch 16's Bob Reynolds is live now at Skycam with that story. Bob?
Well, Nolan, Mayor David Wenzel called for an investigation into the way the State Department of Environmental Resources has handled the entire Keystone landfill situation. Wenzel's comments came after he climbed aboard Skycam 16 and got another perspective on the problem. While over the Keystone landfill, Wenzel criticized DER for never telling the city that Keystone had problems in filling up with garbage.
They took a public be damned attitude. We're going to close this place down, and that's it.
Mayor Wenzel says he may ask state legislative committees which oversee DER to investigate.
That's not good planning on their part, and it certainly doesn't help the matter as far as cities are concerned.
Meanwhile, DER says it stands by its decision to close Keystone and has warned communities about landfills closing down years ago. But one of the problems communities are facing now is that the fate of local landfills are unsure. Keystone, the largest, may close at some future point in time, and the Amity landfill in Taylor is closed down now, and no one's really sure when it will reopen. Then there's the Morgan Highway landfill in Scranton, which you're seeing right now live from Skycam 16. That landfill's been closed since about 1983, but city officials are looking into the possibility of reopening it, a landfill right next to it. Now, Newswatch 16 has obtained government documents showing that the Morgan Highway landfill may contain nearly 10,000 drums of hazardous waste illegally put there. DER says it would not recommend that the city of Scranton even think of opening up a new landfill down there. Bob Reynolds, Newswatch 16, with a live Instacam report aboard Skycam.
Thank you, Bob. With communities around here wondering where they're going to dump their trash if the Keystone landfill closes, it may seem ironic, but out-of-town trash is still being trucked to the Dunmore dump. While Newswatch 16 was at the Keystone landfill this morning, we noticed a lot of garbage trucks coming in from Philadelphia and New Jersey. That's perfectly legal. Those areas still have contracts with Keystone. So since the landfill will stay open for at least another week, they're hauling in the out-of-town trash.
Several businesses in our area are taking aggressive measures to keep their workers on the job and keep them happy. Newswatch 16's Melissa Sander has an example in the tourist industry in Pike County, where a resort has introduced daycare for its employees' children.
This is the new daycare center at Woodloch Pines, making the resort the only one in the Poconos to offer this service to its employees.
Originally, management expected to spend about $10,000 to convert 4 old cottages into daycare centers. To meet safety codes, they had to put in non-flammable materials, they had to put in some new flooring, and they had to do quite a bit of major construction work, including putting in emergency exits. All in all, the project cost about $100,000. That's 10 times what management expected to spend. But they say it's an investment that's well worth it.
It's enabled us to attract good people, to keep our good people, but to most importantly, when the people are working here, they feel more relaxed because their children are here.
Children like 3-year-old Stephanie Smith. Stephanie's mother, Lori, recently applied for a job in housekeeping at the resort after hearing about the on-site daycare service. Up till now, Lori stayed at home to take care of her daughter.
I was just bored with it, and I wanted to come out and go to work, and this gave me a reason.
And the program has made a big difference in waitress Julie Levine's workday.
I do my shifts, and on my breaks I get to come out and see my kids whenever I want, take them out for as long as I want, and I get to be with them.
Julie says it's the first time she and other resort employees can work without missing the chance to see their little ones growing up. Melissa Sander, Newswatch 16, Pike County.
The healthcare industry is also taking steps to keep part-time nurses working. Newswatch 16's Mark Davis says one area hospital is offering part-timers full-time pay scale and full-time benefits.
If you're a nurse, get ready. This is prime time for recruiting you to a new job. Area hospitals are vying for the talented people coming out of nursing schools and those who might have left the profession and might want to come back. Here at Geisinger, Wyoming Valley, the problem is getting and keeping part-time nurses for weekend and vacation fill-in shifts. So now part-time nurses are being recruited with full-time pay and benefits. John Kopik of Bear Creek has been a registered nurse for 8 years. His wife is also an RN. He says the nursing profession is changing.
It's the whole idea of a career. It's not just a job. You know, it's something that you've worked for, you went to school for, and you're dedicated to.
In some areas of the country, there is a nursing shortage. Too many jobs and not enough people applying for those jobs. Now, that does not appear to be happening here, at least not yet. But nursing jobs are being made more flexible and more appealing.
As I see it, it certainly is very appealing, for example, to the nurse that is anxious to return to school for a baccalaureate degree or a master's degree.
While the problem of attracting nurses in this area is not yet on the critical list, people here at Geisinger do hope that this kind of program will be the best medicine from stopping the nursing shortage from ever hitting home. Mark Davis, Newswatch 16, Plains Township.
On the Health Watch tonight, a report says senior citizens and the poor are paying more for their health care. The General Accounting Office says cost-cutting steps taken by Congress are to blame. Senior citizens in the Medicare program are paying about a third more than they used to. Also, poor people covered by Medicaid are having to shell out more money to get health care. The GAO report adds that the cost-cutting measures were passed during the Reagan administration.
The Weather Watch is next with our chief meteorologist, Tom Clark.
And after a beautiful day, looks like wet stuff on the way.
A little bit, yeah, no doubt about it. But time to get a paper and pencil ready.
Okay.
We have it.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure you're eligible for this one.
Oh, well, then.
Another contest on the way, details when we come back. And this year, we're giving away more than just an air conditioner. You're watching Newswatch 16 on WNEP TV, and we're proud to serve Scranton and all of Lackawanna County.
I work out a lot, but I also do something just as important. I sleep on a king coil posture-bound mattress with heavier springs in the center third for extra support.
Where he needs it the most.
It's endorsed by the International Chiropractors Association.
And by a sleepy wife.
Without my king coil mattress, I'd spend a third of my life out of shape.
Available at O.W. Hout State College and Canterbury Gallery's Dingman's Ferry.
This is a beer that's everything a fine imported beer ought to be. It's brewed with all natural ingredients, the way fine imported beers are brewed. Bottled in tall green glass, the way fine imported beers are bottled. This is Rolling Rock Premium Beer, brewed by the Latrobe Brewing Company and imported in bottles and cans from Latrobe, PA.
New problems have surfaced for some Centralia people who moved away from that underground mine fire. It's been about 3 years since the government began moving people away from the danger. And tonight, at least 11 of those families still don't have a house they can call home. Newswatch 16's Valerie Devine talked with some people in one Columbia County development who say they're fed up with the whole thing.
The downspout, he never put one on, you know, the drain pipe coming down off the spout.
A rain spout is just one of the problems John Lepotsky says he's having at his new house in Cullen Manor. He moved into this home just outside of Centralia 2 months ago and is still waiting for his yard to be graded and his oil tank to be installed. Some of the brickwork around his back door still isn't finished, and Lepotsky says he's not sure why the developer hasn't come back.
I've been paying the payments to him, you know, and the work hasn't been being done, you know. You had to just keep after him and after him.
Lepotsky's next-door neighbor, Pete Sherpin, says he's also having problems. He's gone so far as to write up a list of the things he wants fixed with his 7-month-old home. Things like these cracks in his foundation and brickwork that weren't there last fall. Sherpin says, like many of his neighbors, he's still waiting for the developer of the complex to come back and fix his house.
This guy calls himself a developer. He hasn't developed anything here. He left everything in a mess here.
Now, I tried to talk to the developer of Cullen Manor, Ed D'Arcangelo, several times today. I stopped by his home this morning and called his office and home number several times. I even left a message on an answering machine, but no one ever called back. Karen?
Okay, thank you, Valerie.
And from that, we go to weather outside with Guess Who, the guy that likes a little bit of sun once in a while. Tom, come on, let's keep it around for tomorrow.
Next 5 days or more, but it won't. Kind of a breeze kicking up out back tonight, a beautiful evening once again. But we've come up with another contest with giving you a chance to beat the heat this summer. Our third annual WeatherWatch 16 snowblower contest was such a big success that we thought we'd come up with something for the warm weather season. And so tonight, we kick off the first annual WeatherWatch 16 air conditioner contest. Now, the first and second prize winners will each win one of these room air conditioners. This model was top rated by a leading consumer testing organization. We also have 40 runner-up prizes. Our 40 runners-up will choose either a WNEP-TV baseball cap or a WNEP-TV coffee mug. Now, here's how to enter. On a postcard or on the back of an envelope, put your name, address, and telephone number, and the exact date and nearest full hour when you think we will first reach 85 degrees in the WNEP-TV backyard. For example, 11 a.m. on May 1st. Now, we won't open envelopes, so print your entry on the back of a postcard or envelope, and please print clearly. You can mail your entry to Air Conditioner, WNEP-TV, Wilkes-Barre Scranton Airport, Avoca, Pennsylvania, 18641. Entries must be mailed, and they must reach us 3 days before the temperature hits 85. That's to keep people from watching one night's forecast and rushing to the post office with a pile of entries for the next day. It keeps the guesswork in the contest, so there's only one deadline. Your entry has to be mailed, and it has to be in our hands 3 days before we hit 85 degrees here in the backyard. And in case of a tie, a drawing will be held from among the correct entries to determine the winner. The decision of the judges is final. And as Skycam 16 is taking off, I'd like to tell you that Dave Leonard has 72 in his backyard in Peckville now. Diane Popnick has 63 in Barnesville, some high, thin cirrus clouds over now. And in Mill Hall, Karen Wolf tells me 66 degrees. Next, there's a view from Skycam today over the Susquehanna River near Pittston. Beautiful day for flying. Temp out back now is 67 degrees. The humidity is low. The wind is from the southeast at 10, and the barometer is falling from 30.08. 68 and 38 was the range here today. Here's the satellite view, a big storm system swirling out in the Midwest and some showers and thunderstorms out ahead of it, but this high should help to keep us dry, at least in the eastern counties of Pennsylvania, through most of tomorrow. Here's the radar view, nothing in the east, a few scattered showers in the western part of the state. They're moving up towards the northeast at this hour, and some heavier thunderstorms farther west, like out over Indianapolis. For tonight, though, not as cold as the past few nights, temperatures in the 40s to near 50, and some hazy moonshine later on tonight. Of course, we had the full moon last night, but not a bad night on the way. I think west of this dashed line out across Lycoming County and Center County and Clinton County, there could be a shower late tonight, but that's about it. The breeze overnight tonight will be out of the southeast at 12. It's a little gusty out back now. Here's the sunrise time for tomorrow morning, and that'll be at 6:25. 7:43 is the sunset tomorrow evening. So for tonight, clear to partly cloudy skies. Again, temperatures holding in the 40s, about 45 out back. Now, tomorrow we'll have some sunshine in the morning, but for the most part, kind of a cloudy day. There is the chance for some showers in the afternoon, especially west of Wilkes-Barre and Scranton. And then probably for the most part a dry night tomorrow night. And then on Thursday we should get into several hours of rain. Some of it could be heavy, and there may be a thunder shower on Thursday. A windy kind of a day, 57 degrees. By the way, once again, the middle 60s tomorrow, another warm day. Then some showers on Friday, maybe a thunder shower, about 60. Some sunshine on Saturday, and about in the middle 60s. And there is the chance for some rain on Easter Sunday.
Oh, darn.
You know, we hit 85 degrees for the first time back in 1983, but not until June.
Oh, wow.
That may not happen this year.
Could be a long contest.
It may be a short one, too.
Sounds like a hint to me, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
Okay.
Tim Carlson is next with the Sports Watch with the latest medical report on former Yankee Mickey Mantle.
Plus highlights of today's doubleheader in Williamsport.
I had it 2 years, and it's going to be 3 years in December.
For 10 years.
My dad has 2, my brother has 1, I now have 3, Mom has 2.
No problem.
No problems whatsoever.
Worth every penny.
Every dime.
More reliable than my husband. My husband's not around anymore, but my Seiko is.
Seiko.
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 Man invented time. Seiko perfected it.
See the full line of Seikos at Stroud's in Wilkes-Barre and Stroudsburg. From early times, man has needed to put a roof over his business. Sometimes it leaked, sometimes it cracked. Then came rubber roofing from Firestone, the latest innovation in roofing available at Paul J. Ironman. The professional roofing contractors at Paul J. Ironman have specially trained applicators. Firestone's rubber roofing is clean and neat. No messy tar is necessary. It's element resistant, durable, and suited to many roofs. If your business needs a new roof or want to do it right the first time, get Firestone rubber roofing from Paul J. Ironman.
Hazleton police are asking for your help tonight to locate a dog that bit a young boy. That incident happened about 4 days ago, April 11th, around 12:30 at the intersection of 11th and Roosevelt Street in Hazleton. The dog is white with a black spot on the back, possibly a German Shepherd. If that dog is not found by Saturday, the victim of that bite will have to get rabies shots. If you have any information, please call Hazleton Police at 459-4940.
Well, the Bills finally got to play today, right?
Good day for baseball,
Oh,
too.
yeah. I wish we could have been there.
It would have been a nice day. You, of course, Karen, you wouldn't have watched the game. You would have been there trying to get suntan. You know?
And eating hot dogs, I know.
I didn't say anything about the hot dogs, Karen. Baseball is back in Billtown today. Do you feel guilty? Baseball is back in Billtown today for the first time since last Saturday, where the Bills won their home opener over Pittsfield 4-2. Wet weather washed out the Sunday and Monday games. Today, a doubleheader between Williamsport and Pittsfield. We pick up some game highlights. It's the top of the first. Cubs Doug DiCenzo on first. Dave Wilder hits an RBI double off Mike Belliman, the Penn State grad, to give Pittsfield a 1-0 lead. Bottom of the fourth inning now, men on first and third, and Mark Higgins hits the sacrifice to right field. It'll score Winston Ficklin, and we're tied at 1-1 as the Bills tie it up. Nice defense coming up here by the Bills. Watch this. A perfect throw coming up by center fielder Louis Medina, who shows us a lot of bat and a lot of good defense. We saw him on Saturday in the live broadcast. He throws out Dwight Smith at the plate, and we're still tied at 1-1. The Cubs go ahead in the fifth, 2-1, but the Bills come back in the sixth inning. Here comes an RBI single by Miguel Ramon. It scores Winston Ficklin to tie it up at 2-2, but the Cubs won it. The final score right there, 4-2. But the Bills came back in the second game to win it 9-1. Just one Major League Baseball game this afternoon at Fenway, the Red Sox and the Texas Rangers. The Red Sox grabbed the early lead. Don Baylor with a 3-run homer in the first to make it 3-0, his third of the year. Al Nipper goes on to pitch a real fine game, and the Red Sox won it over the Rangers. The final was 4-1. The news out of a Dallas, Texas area hospital about former Yankee star Mickey Mantle is great. Doctors at Irving Community Hospital say the 55-year-old Mantle does not have a heart problem. They say stress and a respiratory infection caused the chest pains that sent Mick to the hospital late Sunday night. The folks at Irving Community also said Mantle was a fun patient, joking around all the time. And their advice to Mick, slow down and take better care of himself.
He has evidence for bronchitis, which is more or less the common cold, but a little bit more severe than the common cold, so a viral type illness. And I think this was compounded by the fact that he has had many pressing social engagements and a very busy schedule, which I think has led to exhaustion on top of everything else.
By the way, Mick could get out of the hospital as early as tomorrow. Well, the Phillies and Mets get together for the first time this season at the Vet tonight. Bob Ojeda pitching for the Mets, Bruce Ruffin for the Phils, both going for their first win. How about last night at the Vet? Cubs pitcher Jamie Moyer, who grew up in the Philly area, against the Phillies with a no-hitter going for 8 innings. It was just his 18th Major League start as he held the Phillies hitless until Juan Samuel led off the ninth with a clean single to center. Moyer was rattled after that, had to leave, but still won the game 5-2. But that's got to be a thrill in front of the hometown crowd, and you're tossing a no-hitter. It's a good young pitcher.
Okay.
See you tonight.
Thank you,
Okay, Tim. And when Newswatch 16 continues, striking it rich on the West Coast.
And going after the big bucks as the Super 7 pot gets bigger and bigger.
From Pella Windows and Doors, the Sunrise Bow Window.
Pella.
The magical window nook.
Pella.
The Bubble Bath Skylight.
Pella.
The Sunday Paper Sunroom.
Pella.
Pella makes your home a better place to live, and we'll show you how. Come and get your free idea book, only at your Pella Window Store.
Look for Pella Window Stores in the white pages of your phone directory.
Your Keystone Chevy dealer has got what you're looking for. Up to $1,000 cash back on America's best-selling line of cars. Your Chevy dealer is making room for new shipments and is making deals to beat the competition and giving up to $1,000 cash back. Act now while the selection of Camaros, Celebrities, Novas, and Spectrums are at their peak. Get a great deal on a brand new Chevy and drive off with up to $1,000 in your pocket.
You got what you're looking for.
A Luzerne County native has struck it rich in the California lottery. He's former Hazleton resident Stephen Plavinchak, now living in Monterey, California. Plavinchak won $12 million in Saturday's lotto drawing there. It's the second largest lotto prize ever in California.
And finally, when the real big bucks are at stake, it seems just about everyone is willing to take a chance.
Even though the Pennsylvania Lottery Super 7 drawing is not until tomorrow, the mad rush is on for a chance of at least $21 million.
Newswatch 16's Bob Costantini is live now in Scranton. Is it busy there, Bob?
Yes, it's been pretty busy today here, Karen. We are at the Convenient Food Mart in the Green Ridge section of Scranton, where we've learned that the odds of winning per ticket, get this, is 1 in 9.6 million. That's the odds. Well, that hasn't stopped a lot of people from playing the Super 7, and the jackpot has grown to $21 million for tomorrow night's drawing. And jackpots like that are the reason that the Lotto Super 7 game was created. The store has had a steady stream of customers at the Lotto computer all day. Many lured to playing Super 7 for the first time.
People here, 20 million, 18 million. Everyone has to spend $1. They don't even know how to play, and they come in. They ask you, how do you play? How do you play?
This man already has some money on the line by going along with a group purchase from where he works. But he decided to buy 5 tickets on his own for himself.
So the added jackpot sort of made you come down here and buy your own?
Oh, sure. Mm-hmm.
And you wouldn't split it with your buddies then?
Have a party. I guess we'd all have a party.
It would be some party. As the dollars keep rolling in, interest will get higher, and the jackpot could get much bigger. And the ticket sales here just keep rolling along. Bob Costantini live with the Instacam in Scranton. Nolan, Karen?
Thank you, Bob. That's Newswatch 16 for Tuesday.
Enjoy your evening.